Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Howard Company's Branding, Signage, and Technology podcast. Today, I am welcomed with Erik, who is a longtime guest and a first-timer, Jim Reeder, one of our regional sales vice presidents. So, welcome. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for inviting.
Today, we've been talking a lot about the customer experience in the last few episodes. So, I want to bring that to more of the technology side and aspects of signage that build trust. So not necessarily absolute necessities, but they're pretty close to highly recommendations as far as when it comes to your digital displays. So I kind of want to open it up and talk about commercial grade displays, warranties, and active monitoring services. And at the end, we can kind of talk about the risks of if you don't opt into these services, what could the potential risk be? So, Jim, let's open up with you. So, commercial grade displays. Why is it important to go commercial grade and not go to your local residential display provider for your business?
Yeah, sure. So I think there's a lot of good reasons why you would do that, and I can kind of run through them real quick. And if you want to expand on one of them, we can do that. I would say first and foremost is the fact that you'll have a usable warranty. Residential TVs that you buy at Costco or Best Buy or wherever will often say right in the warranty disclaimer, if you put it into business, no warranty. Commercial grade displays are specifically made to be in a business setting with all the ambient special things that they have to deal with, like additional light and steam and grease and dust and all that. And the way I always kind of explain it is, think about the difference between just a regular car and a cop car. A cop car is going to have tougher suspension, tougher brakes, bigger alternator, stiffer frame, because it's going to handle more use and abuse. Commercial grade monitors are made to be on 24/7, 365. And the feature set that they have a lot of times that is unique to commercial grade monitors is the first thing they don't have is a TV tuner. Because what you don't want is someone with like a universal remote changing the channel on your commercial grade display, turning off your menu and turning on whatever the antenna is receiving. There are built-in features like I don't remember the exact term. It's like a pixel shifting feature, so you don't get burn-in essentially. So if you have a digital menu that's showing less dynamic content, it's more static. Especially with the older style TVs, you could get burn-in and shadowing of that image. Well, it's going to minutely shift that image around, not enough that the eye can really tell, but that there's never going to have that burn-in taking place because it's always going to be slightly different. They're brighter, usually by quite a bit. And that's one of the great things about commercial displays is you can tailor what kind of display you want to the need that you have. So if you're in a place where you're window facing and you're going to have a lot more outside light coming in, you can scale up that brightness with a higher grade display to overpower that natural light, right? I would say those are kind of the things that really set apart why you would want a commercial grade display as opposed to a residential TV. The last thing I would throw out there, and Erik can probably build on this, is the way things used to be, you'd always have a dedicated media player or mini computer that's running the menu content on the screens. Well, pretty much every good commercial display now is going to come with a built-in media player, so you can run a system-on-chip software. So you're going to lower your hardware costs by not having a dedicated media player by utilizing that feature, and that's something that residential TVs, they just don't have.
Yeah. Talk about the temperature as well, like the extreme temperature.
Yep.
So the outdoor monitors, they can withstand these extreme temperatures, right? Like with cold, some of them can go up to like negative 22 degrees Fahrenheit, and with the heat, up to like 200 or so. So these outdoor monitors are built to work every day, all day, right? And then to your point with the SoC chips, these commercial monitors are built-in computers so that you're not worried about the media player going down. You're just worried about having your system in that one monitor, which also comes with the remote management. And that's something that we can talk on too later once we talk about active monitoring.
Yeah. Well, let's dive into that right now. Do you want to explain what active monitoring is?
Yeah, active monitoring is us behind the scenes making sure that your content on those displays are running. So a dead display is not going to make you any money. So our job is to essentially help that content stay up and running. So with active monitoring, half our job is making sure that your content is up, and the other half of that job with active monitoring is fixing any issues fast. So essentially what we do is we just monitor these displays to make sure your content is running and making sure that your business is making money.
What kind of difficulties would you have if somebody was using a residential screen in order to go in and support it?
Yeah, one of the things that we find is walking a customer or the store owner through fixing the issues with a phone call. And if they're not technical, if they have difficulties with the language, it's going to be a lot more difficult for us to troubleshoot those issues. So with active monitoring, we can take that off the store owner's hands and let us do what we know, what we can do.
You know, we actually do that in two different ways. So there's two different types of software where we take care of that. The first is, you know, we primarily supply LG and Samsung screens, and they each have their own remote access software that they include. And the purpose of that software is it allows you to manipulate the screen settings like if you were standing in front of the screen with a remote. So you don't have to, as to Erik's point, talk through someone on the phone. Well, press input, press guide, press this, press that. So from a screen setting perspective, the hardware, that takes care of that aspect. But we also log remote access software on the media player as well. So if we need to go in and make changes to the menu content software itself or update it or do whatever, from the software perspective, we're covered as well. And it allows us to have those remote access tools to better serve the customer after the sale.
Yeah. I mean, I just think about, you work with a lot of chains, like handling all these locations at once, the active monitoring, to not have to worry really about that would be such a nice thing to have.
I think the store owner just wants to run the business and not worry about the digital menu boards going down, right? So having that active monitoring in place just allows us to make sure that your content is running and allows the store owner to just focus on the business.
Yeah, and from a marketing side of things, if we can identify that there's stores that, well, they may be running, but they're not actually connected to the internet and they want to push a content update, we can say, hey, listen, just so you know, you want to go live with this pricing on X date. But until this one store fixes this, everybody's going to get it, but they're not going to. And we know that because we're actively monitoring their status in the system.
Yeah.
So we can give the heads up in advance to make sure that problem never happens.
Yeah, that's a good point too. Like some of these displays would be out or lacking some updates, and that's something that we can do remotely too, is just making sure that the firmware is up to date so that we can push some of these software updates.
Yeah, because that's one of the biggest advantages of digital is being able to make sure that the correct content is playing at the correct time system-wide. And if you're not doing that, you're really not getting a return on investment in digital.
Yeah. Question about active monitoring. So we offer a lot of different digital displays from, your normal indoor menu boards, outdoor menu boards to kiosks.
Yeah.
Does that apply to all types of digital displays?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, if we see it online in our dashboard, we can actively monitor that service. So yeah.
Okay. So Jim, you kind of hit on warranties with commercial grade. So can you kind of dive into why warranties are important and maybe the types of warranties that there are?
Yeah, sure. So it really depends on what level of service you want. The standard warranty on most commercial grade displays is what's going to be called a 3-year depot service warranty, not advanced exchange. And so what all that jargon means is, say you have a commercial display that goes bad, and you've called us and we've done troubleshooting and we determined, yep, it is in fact the monitor, it's not the player or the software or the connection or anything else. So with a standard warranty, what happens at that point is the store owner is responsible for taking it off the wall, shipping it to the depot center for whichever brand it is. They'll inspect it, and then if they agree it's covered under warranty, they will then send out a new monitor that you are then required to put back on the wall yourself. So it's timely and it's labor intensive. Obviously, it's the customer's choice as to what level they want. There is also an option for advanced exchange and an option for white glove and changing the term length from 3 to 4 or 5 years. So to explain that, what that means is advanced exchange is instead of waiting for the monitor to get there and inspecting it and then sending one, when you ship yours, they just send a new one right away. So that's what advanced exchange is. So really what you're doing with that service is you're cutting down time. With the white glove option, what you're doing is you're now paying for the labor in advance to the advanced exchange. So what that means is if you say have white glove warranty and your screen goes bad, well, what's going to happen is someone's going to show up, take down the old monitor, put up the new monitor, and haul the old monitor away. So it really is just, what sort of insurance do you want to provide yourself and what's your comfortability with the installation process and the time without a screen? And that'll help you determine what you want in terms of your warranty options. When it comes to the outdoor displays, which are incredibly costly and heavy, more importantly, we always provide the white glove warranty, because you don't want someone with minimal experience dealing with a several £100 monitor that's worth $7,000 hanging over the ground. It's better for the outside to always just let the professionals take care of it.
Yeah. So kind of diving into risks of each of these three: commercial grade warranties, active monitoring. What are some of the most common risks that you guys see? And I also kind of want to hit on the people that don't opt into these, and then down the road they're like, oh, I should have gotten that. Like, how often do you guys see that? I know that pricing is a huge thing for these, because, you know, like I said, they're not a need, but they're highly recommended. It might come down to price originally, being like, oh, I probably don't need active monitoring. Oh, commercial grade's a little too much for me. I'm gonna go residential. Kind of hit on those things.
Yeah, I think for active monitoring, the biggest risk is having your screen go dark or freeze up, and then during a significant time too, like let's say the holidays, and all of a sudden now your screen's dark, and could have been resolved with active monitoring by us letting you know, like, hey, your software is out of date. It could freeze up in the next couple of days, or your screen's offline right now. It's cached, so the content you got going on is going to be good, but in a couple of days, it's going to go black. So that allows us to help the store owner if they got active monitoring. That's one of the biggest risks that I see if they don't have it. It's just having their screens go dark without really us being able to tell them.
Yeah. Sure, yeah, I'd say the biggest things that I get feedback-wise from people who initially choose to go with a residential unit is eventually what ends up happening is they have a mismatch of screens. A lot of times with residential screens, every year there's a new model and they're never going to match. So they could buy 4 this year, and if one goes bad, they can get next year's model, but it's going to be a different brightness. It's going to have a different bezel. You know, there could be other subtle changes that you're always going to be like, oh, why is that one screen different, right? Not to mention, you know, is it going to be able to mount in the same way the previous one did? And that's something that we didn't cover. I mean, commercial grade displays are made to mount either landscape or portrait in a very industrial fashion.
Yeah.
Residential TVs are not always made to do that. I would say the other thing is when it comes to advanced warranties, you know, every business is going to decide how they want to invest their money and what their risk comfortability is. Because the Hauer company is adamant on providing that higher level warranty for the outdoor screens, I think we've saved a lot of customers from some pain points, because that's really where, you know, the stress is going to come, is with the drive-thru. Because let's be honest, most of our customers, you know, most burger chains or other quick service restaurants that are serving primarily food, you know, their goal is to have 60% of the traffic through the drive-thru lane. And for coffee stores, that can be 80 as high as 90%, right? Yeah. So protecting that drive-thru investment is really important. And so do we have customers that occasionally go, oh, you know, I wish I would have done this? Yes. But, you know, our customers are not dumb. You know, they know how to make good decisions. They know what they want to do. And if they're making the investment into digital, they want to protect that investment. So usually that's one of those things where when given their options, they already know what they want to do.
Yeah. Nice. Anything else? No? We have a fun question. We end every podcast with a fun question, get to know our team. So it's the holiday season. I'd like to know, what is your favorite holiday movie and favorite holiday movie character?
Home Alone.
It could be from the same movie.
Is my favorite.
I know I've been here too long because I already know your answer.
You know my favorite movie.
Is Elf.
Is Elf. I would say, I was trying to think about my favorite movie character. It's probably not consistent. I mean, Buddy's up there, but we just watched Home Alone, and I really like Marv. It's
the narwhal. Hope you find it, buddy.
Yeah. But like Marv, when he falls for all the stunts, it's just hysterical.
Do you know something interesting about Marv? Do you know that he wrote and directed Rookie of the Year?
No way.
That's his movie, and he's a big Cubs fan.
Oh, no way.
And if you ever get to see him interviewed about that, it's a fantastic. I mean, his face just lights up.
Nice. I want to know what he looks like outside the movie.
It's the same. I would say in terms of Christmas movies, when I was a kid, we watched, this dates me, we watched a lot of White Christmas with Bing Crosby. I really always enjoyed that. But lately, the family has watched a lot of National Lampoon's Christmas is really a classic. But I will say, Under Duress, the new Grinch is a fantastic family film. The one with Benedict Cumberbatch as the Grinch, the animated film.
I haven't seen that one.
Awesome movie. Really, really fun. Yeah, I would highly recommend that.
Nice.
Kid or not.
Yeah. Fantastic. Yeah, Home Alone is definitely one of my top Christmas movies.
One or two.
Both of them. For sure, the first one is classic, OG. The second one is great too. Yeah. As far as like characters, I don't know. You know, it's hard to decide. I'll just be thinking forever. Yeah. I'll just stick with the movie.
I was telling someone the other day, I think one of the most underrated pairings is Julia Louis-Dreyfus and her partner in National Lampoon. In the jumpsuits. They're just hysterical together. But Kelsey, what about you from the back?
Yeah, National Lampoon's is a family. Every Thanksgiving, usually we watch it to kick off the holiday season. So I know that movie back and forth. I'm partial to the Jim Carrey Grinch, though.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah, I liked that one. If y'all have seen...
I'm not going.
Yeah. Just all the flat. Everybody. Yeah. If you like Jim Carrey, obviously, it's a great one. Klaus. If any of you have not seen that, it is a top-tier 3D animated film with a lot of... the way it's rendered, there's a lot of technical elements to it that just make it a beautiful film. The story's solid. The acting's great. It's Klaus.
When did it come out?
I think it was before COVID. I think it was probably like 2013.
Kid friendly?
2014?
Is it kid friendly? Or
Oh
is it
yeah,
more of an
it's
adult
a
Christmas
family film. It's a kids film.
Well, I asked because my wife loves Hallmark movies, and the one that it recommended for her yesterday was Murder Under the Mistletoe. So it's like...
Doesn't sound too hallmarky.
Yeah.
I guarantee it's getting a lot of watches. So.
Yeah, well, I mean, pardon my French, but bitches love true crime. That's entirely a Hallmark.
Can this part be not edited?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, thank you for joining me. Appreciate the conversation. Thank you for joining us on the podcast. We have one more podcast, I believe, coming up before the end of the year with our designers for best practices going into 2026. Can't believe it's 2026 already.
Wow.
But yeah, thank you. Find us on YouTube, Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeart. We're on those now. So check them out, subscribe, and we will see you next time. Thanks.